Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us on the news desk with me, Amos Zulu. Here are the top stories. Zambia on course to begin manufacturing medicines. Prisons Correctional Center Audit 2023 report launched. Government to improve water supply in Central Province. One Zambia, one nation. With the news in detail, my name is Amos Zulu. President Hakainde Hichilema has announced that Zambia is on course to begin the manufacturing of medicines. President Hichilema says producing medicines locally will help Zambia attain universal access to affordable, effective, and safe medicines for the country. President Hichilema said this when he met a delegation from Africa Center for Disease Control at State House. The head of state also met a delegation from the Norwegian Africa Business Association at State House.
We called Economic Forum Euro-Zambia. And in that forum platform, we discussed the importance of local manufacture of health requirements, medicines, equipment, facilities. And since that, we've had now investors coming in here from Europe, talking to our local investors, and I believe we are on the road towards the manufacture of some of the health requirements here. And if we didn't manufacture them here, we'll be happy to manufacture them in the country next door. We're not keen as Zambia and as Africa to continue the tradition of exporting raw materials. Please, colleagues, we are not keen to do that anymore. That's what has kept Africa's economies basically remaining miniature when others in Europe, America, Asia are growing, because we are still hell-bent on extraction.
We believe that the Nordic-Africa relationship has significant potential for growth, and especially at a time of significant global economic and geopolitical change. We have been inspired by Your Excellency and your government's commitment to reform and to positioning Zambia as a key destination for
are doing a great job, but maybe your own people, they don't see it. And for us, we need to talk about it. Let me give two facts that are showing your vision and your leadership. The first one, Zambia is one of the 5 countries, the first 5 countries to get funding from pandemic fund. And you can imagine, Excellency, there were 52 proposals from Africa.
Meanwhile, President Hakainde Hichilema has challenged farmers in the country to transform the agriculture sector and increase production. President Hichilema said for the past 2 years, the agriculture sector has underperformed, adding that it is high time that something was done to increase production. Mr. Hichilema said that farmers should accept the effects of climate change and start leveraging on how to survive amidst the calamity. The head of state said this in Osaka when he officially opened the 117th Annual Congress of the Zambian National Farmers Union, ZNFU, held under the theme, Promoting Technology for an Inclusive Agricultural Transformation. Zambia National Farmers Union President Jervis Zimba appealed to the government to ensure that the floor price of maize is known to the farmers before the planting season. Mr. Zimba said informing farmers on the maize floor price will help farmers prepare themselves adequately. And Minister of Agriculture Ruben Mutolo said the government will continue creating confidence in the farmers countrywide to ensure that they are motivated to produce more food to feed the nation.
Transformation in this sector is a must. This sector has been suboptimal for too long. This sector has been underperforming for too long. So transformation is long overdue. Colleagues, fellow farmers, some of the reasons why we have not transformed the sector and therefore we've been tinkering on the edges for too long are self-inflicted by ourselves, we the farmers. Some are outside our control, but there are definitely some which are within our control. Let's take one aspect of transformation to increase our production. We must increase our production, whatever we produce, because if we produce lower quantities, they don't bring about economies of scale. That theory is proven worldwide. Economies of scale are critical to override, to glide over certain cost elements.
I wish to assure you that the Ministry of Agriculture, on behalf of the government of Zambia, will continue to ensure that the confidence between the farmers, Zambia National Farmers Union, and all other farm organizations continue to become stronger and stronger as we go along. We shall continue at the ministry, Mr. President, to make the farmers happy in this country.
We humbly want to ask you, Mr. President, that FRA within the next 14 days must announce the price, what they will pay for us next year. Mr. President, we are saying so for one reason. Because farmers, whenever they grow maize, they are always dribbled. We grow blindly, we don't know what our price is. When we grow a lot, then the price crash, they will tell you it's market forces. My farmers wangene safuti. So we want to know now what will be the price for next year. This is going to be a game changer, and we need your help on this one, Mr. President, because we need you to protect the maize production, which you have said we need to do it.
Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation has awarded seven contracts under water supply and sanitation to improve the water supply and sanitation in Central Province. Central Province Permanent Secretary Myuna Mwanakampwe, who graced the event, emphasized on the need for contractors to complete the works on time and without fail to avoid termination of contracts. Here are the details.
Government through Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation has awarded 7 contracts to improve the water supply and sanitation in Central Province. Provincial Permanent Secretary Myuna Mwanakampwe, who graced the kick-off meeting to award the contracts, has emphasized the need for contractors to complete the works on time.
Some of us here might want to think that there are no punitive measures to contractors who fail to complete works or delay projects unnecessarily. In your bid documents, you bidded for these contracts on your own, and you were picked presumably on merit. Therefore, you are expected to deliver on time, which you bargained for in the stipulated time frame.
He has also applauded local councils and other stakeholders for the support rendered in the area of water supply and sanitation in Central Province.
It is gratifying to note that the local councils and other stakeholders are rendering support to this province in the manner in which we are working as a team in the area of water supply and sanitation.
Provincial Water Supply and Sanitation Officer Chimba Mkuka said the establishment of flushable toilets and running water in public facilities is a government directive.
Provided with the running water and flushable toilets, following the presidential directives. So the ministry has funded, apart from boreholes with the submersible pumps, solar submersible pumps, we are also going to rehabilitate, because we have quite a number of boreholes that are broken down.
Reporting for ZANIS in Kabwe Central Province, I'm Namata Maliwanga.
Government has launched the 2023 Prisons and Correctional Centers Audit Report. Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu says government is hopeful that the report will help address challenges facing prisons and correctional facilities and will strengthen the delivery of justice system in the country. Take a look.
Government has launched the 2023 Prisons and Correctional Centers Audit Report in Lusaka. Minister of Justice Mulambo Haimbe pointed out that the state of correctional facilities is one of the major challenges facing the criminal justice system in the country.
The most vulnerable groups to human rights violations include children, women, elderly persons, persons with disabilities, and persons in detention who are subject of this, the report that is being launched today. As government, we are trying our utmost best to ensure that issues of human rights and access to justice are addressed. In this regard, government has opened new offices for legal aid board in 5 districts, namely Betaoke, Nakonde, Mbala, Wenilunga, and Mazabuka. These offices are going to contribute towards access to justice for the poor and the vulnerable in these rural districts where private lawyers are not, as a matter of course, available.
Speaking at the same event, Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwimbu says the launch of the 2023 Prisons and Correctional Center Audit Report will act as a catalyst to address challenges faced in the criminal justice system.
The new Dawn administration is committed to maintaining international standards for correctional centers as exemplified through our adherence to regional and international treaties that promote human rights and indeed our domestication of the international acclaimed United Nations standard minimum rules on the treatment of prisoners through the enactment of the Zambia Correctional Services Act of 2022.
The European Union, in partnership with the German government, commended the Zambian government for working towards improving the criminal justice system.
The findings and recommendations from this prison audit provide invaluable and up-to-date data to support your ministries in your efforts to improve the justice system and the welfare of the inmates. We strongly encourage the government to ensure that the recommendations are systematically taken forward, including with adequate resources, and the commitment that will translate the work into a real change on the ground.
Presence here today, honorable ministers in plural, demonstrates the high level of commitment of government to address the human rights situation in prisons. With this launch today, we will face revelations regarding the situation of inmates, which, as the GIZ country director mentioned, are uncomfortable.
Reporting for ZANIS, Angel Ho.
Over 9,200 metric tons of urea fertilizer has been delivered to Northwestern Province ahead of the 2023-2024 farming season. This represents about 91% of the total requirement for the province. Government contracted Covenant Procure Zambia Limited to supply the fertilizer to the region. And in health news, Siavonga District Commissioner Geoffrey Jacopo says the district is ready to manage any epidemic outbreak this coming rainy season. Mr. Jacopo said intensified awareness meetings with residents and stakeholders have commenced, while 27 isolation centers in all health facilities in the district have been established. Take a look.
The rain season is around the corner and outbreaks of waterborne diseases become imminent. Stakeholders in Siavonga district are stepping up the measures to prevent any possible outbreak. Residents have been told to keep clean their environment to avert outbreaks in the district.
Make sure that the toilet bowl is covered and make sure that there is water and sanitizer or soap. Let us learn to wash our hands when we have visited the toilet, or this is time also for mangoes. Let us make sure that we wash our mangoes And let us be mindful of the way we throw the mango seeds. Let those mango seeds be thrown in the bins.
Siavonga district is 195 kilometers away from Lusaka, where cases of cholera have been recorded with 1 death reported. The district health office has intensified engagement meetings with stakeholders to combat any epidemic outbreak.
As Siavonga, we are getting ready so that in case we have a case here, we can handle it. So we have an isolation center which is called Kabila Health Post, where if any case arises, we're going to take it there.
The church has also joined in the preparedness against the epidemic.
The infection of cholera and how to prevent it. It's important for us to share information as Christians across board, so that even if we came across, would be of encouragement and also of help to seeing that cholera does not continue to devastate the communities in which we live.
Brandina Lambwe, ZANIS, Siavonga District, Southern Province.
Stakeholders in the health sector in Luanga District have held an epidemic preparedness, prevention and management in response to the outbreak of cholera and anthrax cases in Lusaka and Sinazonga districts. Luanga District Director of Health, Chisengo Kapiha, expressed the need for the district to put in preventive measures as it shares borders with the affected districts. And Luanga District Commissioner Luke Chikani urged the committee to adequately prepare for any disease outbreak in the district. Still in health news, the Ministry of Health has launched the 4th round of the polio vaccination for Muchinga province with a call for heightened hygiene precautions in communities to prevent the transmission of the disease. Mpika Town Council Chairperson Mwape Musoma launched the polio vaccination campaign in Chisowa community.
With the 3 rounds of polio vaccination campaign already done in 6 provinces, government has launched the 4th round of polio vaccination in the targeted provinces, including Muchinga. Mpika Town Council Chairperson Mwape Musoma has launched the 4th round of polio vaccination for Muchinga province, which will run from the 26th to the 29th of October.
In November last year, the Ministry of Health, through its routine surveillance system, collected environmental samples that indicated the presence of circulating poliovirus from samples collected from Copperbelt and in Plumbu, Northern Province, of transmission even higher, and the cause for all of us to be alert.
Muchinga Province Health Director David Suleya says the provincial polio vaccination campaign has been launched in Mpika because the district is highly populated.
We are having this event, this provincial launch here in Muchinga, and it's been hosted in Mpika, because Mpika particularly is a district of special interest because one of the highly populated districts besides Kapolde.
Mothers in Chisowa compound are keen to have their children protected against the polio virus. At the same event, Mpika District Health Director Arthur Mataka said that Mpika alone targets to vaccinate 45,000 children during the campaign. Peggy Gutinyu for ZANIS in Mpika, Muchinga Province.
Now, pupils at Liliachi Primary School in Nalolo District of Western Province are learning under a tree. Nalolo Constituency Member of Parliament Imanga Wamunyima has reaffirmed government's resolve of improving the infrastructure at the school.
Grade 7 pupils at Liliachi Primary School are learning under the tree following evidence that destroyed the classroom block sometimes in November last year. Speaking shortly after inspecting the classroom block, Nalolo Constituency Area Member of Parliament Imanga Wamunyima assured the school authority of government support of rehabilitating the school infrastructure using 2024 Constituency Development Fund, CDF.
We have, in 2024, this school is a priority for an additional 1x3 classroom, and hopefully we can also see how we can improve other structures. But for this one, we will immediately seek to attend to it through the DMMU facility. That is at the Constituency Development Fund level or through the central government.
Earlier, Liach Primary School head teacher was quick to inform the parliamentarian some of the challenges the school is facing.
Problem of this blown off roof. The problem, and it's a big challenge to the Lidiachi community, the school and the Lidiachi community, in the sense that most of our learners learn from the trees instead of a block like this one. So I don't know, you as our stakeholders, what you are going to help us to curb the problem of accommodation in the school, because we have a lot of learners, over 1,500 learners in this school.
The civic leader also took time to interact with pupils on the importance of education.
Because I was also like you, I sat on a desk. Education is the key to what? Success. I want to hear. Education is the key to what? Success. We overhand maupiro ki tuto. Autwa? Hakuna shortcut.
Rogers Shepherd reporting for ZANIS in Aroro District, Western Province.
The news continues. Hunger Project Zambia has donated 22 classroom boards and other assorted literacy utilities valued at more than 30,000 kwacha to Vubi District for the enhancement of adult education. Still in education news, Minister of Technology and Science Felix Mutati has called on citizens to unite in order to develop the country. Speaking during a book launch by Greg Muse, Rich State, Poor State, Why Some Countries Succeed and Others Fail, Mr. Mutati said collaboration is the key to development.
Minister of Technology and Science Felix Mutati says there is a need for African countries to enhance investments and trade with each other in order to attain sustainable development. Mr. Mutati said this during a book launch titled Rich State, Poor State, Why Some Countries Succeed and Others Fail.
So that us Africans should move away from being spectators to being actors. And that is the only way we are going to achieve transformation. And as you move the book forward and many more to write, please help us in the paradigm shift from Zambia Revenue Authority, meeting with their counterparts, working through the system, and colleagues, the end result is that starting 1st January 2024, as announced by the Minister of Finance in his budget.
And the author of the book, Greg Mills, shared his thoughts on what inspired him to write the book.
There's very few circumstances that beat that. And so you've got to get down, crack on to this process of recovery, of reform, of renovation of your Vietnamese very quickly, otherwise the long-term effects are going to take that much longer to unwind out of your society.
The book launch was attended by various stakeholders, including Zimbabwe's former finance minister.
Less than 20 years ago, there were enclaves of the former Soviet Socialist Republic. I'm talking of Latvia, I'm talking of Estonia, I'm talking of Lithuania. But fast track the clock 24 years or 30 years later, Estonia, for instance, enjoys a per capita income of US $24,000. We are struggling. Zimbabwe, where I come from, it's around US $120, with people that 79% of our population surviving on less than $1.
Tendai Biti, Samuel Hangandu, reporting for ZANIS.
Kasama District Education Board Secretary James Chibuye has cautioned teachers in the district against engaging themselves in exam malpractice. Mr. Chibuye said this said his office will not condone any form of exam malpractice as the vice has negative effects on the education sector.
With only a few days left before the 2023 internal examinations start, stakeholders in the education sector in Kasama district are working tirelessly to ensure that the examinations are held seamlessly. Kasama District Education Board Secretary James Chibuye has assured stakeholders and the public of his office readiness to conduct the examinations.
We've taken time to go around the schools, to talk to ourselves, to sensitize the schools and all persons that are involved in the examinations to do their due diligence. Stick to your line and just do what you are supposed to do. We've emphasized on the issue of the standard strong room, the management of keys, the invigilation and supervision, and even the security of our examination papers. The furniture, we expect that we are going to provide adequate furniture for our learners and the room, well ventilated and well lit so that children don't struggle.
The DEBS has, however, warned against examination malpractice.
I want to send a stern warning to all our schools in Kasama district to avoid getting involved in any form of examination malpractice.
And the teacher unions in Kasama are calling on their members to uphold professionalism.
Examination malpractice has a very negative impact on the growth of any nation, and hence the need for our teachers to stick to all the revised guidelines, read them. And I'm certainly sure this time around our head teachers will make the guidelines accessible to all the teachers. We as a labor movement desire and envy for a greater nation.
The people of Lumwayo village in Pemba's Kasikili ward are set to benefit from a dam that is currently under rehabilitation. The dam, worth over 1 million kwacha under the Constituency Development Fund, is expected to be complete soon.
For over 2 decades, the people of Lumwayo and surrounding villages in Kasikili ward in Pemba district have been relying on shallow wells and one hand pump for their water needs since their dam embankment got damaged 28 years ago. However, the situation is about to change now as government through the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has commenced the rehabilitation of Tumbi Dam, which will provide a much-needed source of water for the people of Lumwayo and surrounding villages. Pemba Constituency Member of Parliament Lamek Hamwata and Council Chairman Kingston Handindo have visited the construction site to check on the progress of the work.
This dam got damaged some 27 years ago, and we saw it fit to have it rehabilitated after the demand from the community. We are talking of roughly about 38 villages that will actually depend on this dam.
As UPND government, under the leadership of His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, we promised the people of Pemba district that we are going to alleviate poverty. This is just the beginning.
Orbit Engineering has been engaged to implement the project, and the local authority is supervising the works.
This contract was awarded in August to Orbit Engineering. The contract sum for these works went to 1,187,406. We are supervising these works as the local authority.
The work so far, I think we are at 45%. In terms of strength and guarantee, we're expecting it to last for a minimum of 60 years.
And we expect to be done with the embankment within 20 days.
The local people are happy with this development.
Very happy because of this project, and at the end of it all, we are looking to see to it that many projects are being implemented in my ward.
Chintu Nangamba, ZANIS in Pemba, Southern Province.
And lastly, in our news, National Savings Bank, NATSAF, has donated 50 waste bins worth more than 100,000 kwacha to Chipata City Council with an objective of promoting hygiene. Chipata City Mayor George Mwanza received the donation on behalf of the local authority.
A clean surrounding is very vital in the prevention of any disease outbreak in communities as well as institutions. In this regard, the National Savings Bank has donated 50 waste bins worth more than 100,000 kwacha to Chipata City Council with a target to promote hygiene. Chipata City Mayor George Mwanza graced the ceremony held at the council of Pemba.
On behalf of the city, we are very, very thankful for this donation that you've given us for the buildings. We are thankful because we need equipment, we need resources, we need commitment to ensuring that we are able to manage the waste holistically in the city. As you may be aware that a healthy city is a productive city. And we must all come up with efforts to make our city clean, because this is our home, this is where we live, this is where our life is. And because of that, we consider your action-oriented partnership that you have with our city a very, very commendable thing. Of course, we have the desire and the dream to really ensure that waste in Chipata is not dumped, but it is actually recycled and converted into resources. That is our ultimate desire. But in the meantime, we must ensure that waste is collected from offices, from people's homes, people's business places, from people's communities, so that we can be able to make sure that our environments are clean.
NatSave Bank Chipata branch manager Adam Chabala outlined the main objective of the donation.
Effective waste management is a crucial aspect of urban living. It contributes to the well-being of the community, protects the environment, and enhances the quality of life for all residents. These refuse bins symbolize our commitment to a cleaner and more sustainable Chipata, and they are a small but tangible representation of our dedication to the well-being of this city. As NatSave Bank, we firmly believe in our role as a responsible corporate citizen. We understand that the success of a community is deeply intertwined with the prosperity and health of its people. And a clean and healthy environment is the foundation of that prosperity. We would like to express our gratitude to the Chipata City Council for this partnership in this endeavor. Their dedication to the welfare of the city has been inspiring, and we look forward to further collaborations that will continue to improve the lives of the residents here. In closing, I would like to urge everyone to play an active role in ensuring that these refuse bins are put to good use. By disposing of waste responsibly, we can maintain a cleaner and healthier environment for all.
And Chipata City Council Director of Public Health, Donald Mwanza, is happy with the gesture.
And we are happy today that partners like NatSave have come to our aid. So welcome you for this gesture.
Sylvester Chimba for ZANIS in Chipata District.
That item from Chipata brings us to the end of the news. Here now is a reminder of the top stories. Zambia on course to begin manufacturing medicines. Prisons Correctional Center Audit 2023 report launched. Government to improve water supply in Central Province. Thank you so much for your time. On behalf of the entire production team, have a pleasant evening.